welcome. We got a few traders in here. Morning. We're going to go over a little bit of the gap fill report. Let's just see if the Edgeful is working right now. So we had a few questions just before we get into this morning. We did have some news overnight on the Iran war, basically with Israel. But basically, that's why indexes dropped quite heavily overnight. This is the DAX, which you guys know I trade quite often, dropped 300 points. The NASDAQ also dropped overnight, and I actually had a runner on that too. So I woke up this morning, I was in profit. So that was quite neat. You can actually see I've had quite a neat week here so far. So I had a run on that and late in the evening and managed to wake up and my take profit was hit. So you always take that. What's up, Ho? Good to have you on. But other than that, being a pretty solid week so far in terms of my execution, let's just go to Monday. I started off quite small. I was feeling pretty sick on Monday, so traded SARS down quite a bit. And I always advise traders to do that when they aren't feeling 100%. I'm still a little bit sick. And then Tuesday, nice shorts on the DAX, again, using that opening range, as well as the VWAPs, the opening range with Edgeful, as well as the VWAPs. So that's obviously always my go-to bread and butter. And then Wednesday, the 11th, again, I think a nice trade. I took that DAX short in the afternoon on stream. In the New York session, as you can see, again, opening range low break with off the daily VWAPs. And then yesterday, quite a nice trading day as well, trading the DAX as well, right, off that opening range as well as the VWAP too. So pretty simple trading this week, just keeping it simple and just taking it one day at a time. But let's speak a little bit about markets right now. So NASDAQ, again, as I said, trading underneath previous day's lows. And we can actually bring up a report here with Edgeful on NQ when we have that previous day's range. Okay. Okay. You can, let me just, you can rewatch. Okay, you can rewatch. You can rewatch these, right, guys? So just putting in the chat for the guys here, can rewatch it. We'll send the link. Okay, so let's go to this previous day's range and let's just make sure you always got to make sure that the right times are on. So this is NQ, previous day's range report. So if the previous day's highs or lows have been taken out, we can actually see that in the last 6 months, 66% of the time, with that previous day's lows taken out, we will close as a bearish closing day. Now, this will change also from time to time as well. So let's go over it like that. As you can see, 50-50 in the last month. So not great odds there, but something that does work quite well with the NASDAQ is this opening candle continuation report. And this is something we'll have to go to the first hour of the New York session. Okay, you can see over here, first hour of the New York session, longs 81% of the time, shorts 57% of the time. Let's go to the last 3 months. Okay, and that will jump up a little bit, I do believe. Yeah, 69 and 79. So pretty good odds there. I just want to cover the gap fill. Let's just go over the gap fill report. Okay, gap fill report on NQ. You got to make sure the timings are right over here. So you need to make sure from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then the sub report by size. You got to make sure the correct timings is on when you are having this gap. We're looking at this gap for report. That's what I'm trying to show the guys over here. Okay, so NQ you can see by size. Let's look at it there by size. Get it to load. Okay, and you can actually see over here from 0 to 0.19%, and then you got to, from 0.7 to 0.99%, that will change. So you got to make sure that the correct timing's on, and then you got to change and adapt to the different sizing. If you are going to watch us, just make sure that you can always reach out to me, and the live support on the bottom right hand section here if you look over here, bottom right hand section of the Edgeful website, you can look at the live support over here. Okay, so make sure to check that out. Okay, let's just go over a couple of markets today. As I said, I think we've dropped down overnight, but now grinding higher. S&P and the NASDAQ both doing the same. But we have been moving lower this week. If you just look at the 5-day moving average, we are trading underneath that 5-day moving average, underneath the weekly VWAP. So the trend has been to the downside ever since the sell-off on Wednesday, late in the evening session into the afternoon, or evening my time in South Africa, right? But markets, it has been trending lower this week. Do we get a move back towards lows? I think possibly we could be looking for previous week's lows on the NASDAQ. So we're trading, clearly we've broken out of a support zone over here on the NASDAQ, okay, as well as the S&P, clearly breaking out of support zone. Could be looking for a break of this, which we've done in the Asian session, and retest to move lower, which I do think also on the S&P, clear support zone that we have broken where we're trading at right now. So moves lower would not surprise me to end off the week. Yeah, I'm going to be in the Edgeful Discord for the rest of the day. We'll see what happens. Again, I like to use that orb report to wait for the opening range to set and then take it from there using the VWAPs. If you want to come check out Edgeful as well as our live streaming, come hit the link in my bio if you're watching this on my YouTube channel. If you are watching in the Edgeful Discord, I will put it there as well. And then, yeah, we will see you in the live trading room over here, as well as if you want a free chart to Edgeful, come check it out there in the link in my bio as well. But I do like, as I said, I'm going to wait for that opening range to set. I do like the shorts heading into this Friday, but let's just see. I don't want to just think we can just rebound this. This does not looks like just a break of this level retest and now possibly moves lower just from level to level. Maybe a move back on the SPX back to 5,925. But let's see what the markets bring. Let's see what we do get into the open. And again, I always wait for that opening range to set, but I like this level that we are bouncing off of the NASDAQ and S&P 500 charts for moves lower. Have a good one, guys. If you've got any questions, I'll be in the Edgeful Discord rest of the day, as well as my live trading room. We'll see you guys there. Have a good one. Cheers.